The 1%er Podcast with Sam Bakhtiar, bringing you the 1% knowledge to help you reach your full potential. Learn what it takes to rise above the 99% and become a 1%er.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Sam Bakhtiar, the host of 1% Podcast. Today I have a very special guest, Miss Takara Russ. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
So Takara, I hear a lot of things about you. I know you lost over 60 pounds.
Yes.
I know you dropped a bunch of body weight while going to school, and you're a special ed teacher.
Yes.
So first thing first, I love, first of all, to understand what was your mindset when you lost this weight. And I know this time was different. I know you've tried to lose weight like so many people in the past. And why was it different this time?
I believe it was different this time because I wanted it so badly. And I seen my coworker who actually got me into the camp, I seen her drop the weight. And she was such an inspiration. And when I walked into the camp, I felt like I was at home.
Okay, so beforehand, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 36.
So you're 36.
Yes.
When did you first had a weight problem?
Oh, when I was little. I've always had a weight problem.
So you were always overweight?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm sure that's something that you weren't happy about.
No.
Okay, and you tried to lose weight before. Tell me, what have you tried?
So when I was around my freshman year of college, I would go to the gym. And I would go every single day killing myself, going for hours and hours. I would lose maybe 20, 30 pounds, and then instantaneously, I would just gain it all back. So I would lose some weight, and then I would gain it back, and not only gain it, but I would gain more.
Did you starve yourself, or did you do it the wrong way, or?
I don't think I had the proper training. I was just going off of not eating. I would just stop eating things.
Stop eating, yeah.
And which I've learned through the campus that you have to eat. Mm-hmm. And that was my problem. I was eating, I would just stop eating, and the things that I was eating was not the right foods to eat. And that's why I would gain it back.
So you were just kind of starving yourself, and then when you were eating the wrong things.
Yes.
Right? Okay, got it. So what else have you tried? I know in your lifetime being 36, you've tried a lot of things back and forth. Have you tried any other programs or anything like that? And why didn't it work?
I didn't try any initial programs, but I would just, to be honest with you, just stop eating. I want to eat. I would just stop eating because I would feel bad. Or when I'd be with my family, I wouldn't eat as much. But when I would go home, I'm like a closet eater. I would go home and I would just eat everything. I'm sorry, but I would eat everything.
I'm a closet peanut butter eater. You know what I mean? Sometimes I stick in the closet and sneak in the scoop. Man, that's my weak spot.
And mine is cheese.
Cheese?
Yes.
I like cheese too. I think something to think about is cheese and peanut. Well, everything for me, So, okay. So then one day you saw your coworker go to the camp.
Yes.
And then you said you decided to stop. But let me go back before that. So you said you were always overweight. Even as a child.
Yes.
Why is that? Could your parents have done anything different for you to not become overweight? Because the reason I'm asking that is because I'm struggling with that right now. Yes. I have two beautiful girls, and it's funny because they don't really like to eat anything healthy, and I'm trying, but all they want to eat is cheeseburgers and chicken nuggets and French fries. So I'm struggling with that. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to be able to incorporate better healthy foods and exercise for them. So this way they don't have a weight problem. Tell me, as you grown up, tell me how your parents fed you, or was that never even even something that they were aware of?
Well, my mom, because I was raised by a single mother, she would just feed us a regular thing. She would cook for us every day, but she would buy us snacks. And I'm the only heavy one in my family. Mm-hmm. So all my brothers and sisters is little. My mom is small. My dad is small. So I'm the only one that was, overweight. And when she would buy cookies and stuff, she would buy, kids' car, you can have one. But when she would go to sleep, I would go.
Oh, you were sneaking.
I was that sneak. See, I was a good child for everything else. Never got in trouble, but that was my problem. I would go and sneak food.
Yeah, and it's so funny because my smaller daughter just told on my older daughter, she's like, Daddy, look, on her backpack, she's sneaking in candy and stuff like that. And that's why I'm asking that. I'm trying to figure out the best way to be able to do that. And be able to educate and not restrict my children from that. And I can see that kind of things are happening. So, okay. So you went to the camp. You went to the camp at 241 pounds.
Yes.
Okay. Now 240 pounds. Let me see if I have a picture of it somewhere. Let me see if is this where you first started?
I believe so.
Yeah, 240 pounds right there.
I believe that's it.
Yeah, 240 pounds right
That's
there.
crazy.
Right, look at that. Yeah, 240 pounds right there. Okay, you walked into the camp. Oh my God, you don't even look. Look at you now.
I have a lot of my family. I went to a family reunion a couple of months ago, and I walked in and nobody knew who I was. They were all looking at me strange. So it's a great feeling.
I mean, like, you just look like a total different person. I mean, not only your body, your face, I mean, everything. So, okay, so tell me about, gosh, I have to ask you, what did this weight loss do for your self-esteem, self-worth? Because the person that I'm seeing here is not the same person that I'm seeing here. Not physically, I'm talking about mentally, I'm talking about emotionally, I'm talking about just self-esteem wise, because I'm looking at you as a very confident woman. I'm looking at you as, you look beautiful, and I'm looking at this and I'm like, what, I'm kind of, so tell me, other than weight loss, we call it at the camp NSV, non-scale victories.
Exactly.
Right? So tell me about what it has done with your mindset overall in your life. Tell me what other things have changed other than weight loss.
Confidence, complete confidence. I never tell my trainers, but before I came to the camp, I was so depressed. You could talk to my family, would tell you.
I can see that. I can see that.
Depressed.
It's sad. I'm looking at this picture, and I can tell that you were depressed.
Yeah.
You know why I can tell? Because here you walked in the gym, and like, I'm sorry to say, I don't give a fuck.
Exactly.
Right. I walked in the gym, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
This is me. You know what I mean? I'm looking at him like, and then I'm still looking at you right now. I'm like,
Yeah,
it's a different person.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're depressed, and depressed because you didn't feel good about yourself.
No. I have family, tons of family, but I don't have friends. So when I walked in, it was just me. But now that I'm going to the camp, my main goal when I got there was like, okay, I'm going to lose weight. But I've gained so much more. It's not even about the weight anymore. I go there and I see my family. And I think that's what I gained the most. And that's why the confidence is coming out more, because I have a place where I can actually be myself. No one is judging me. And through that process, I'm losing weight. And that's why I just love it. Absolutely love it.
So confidence went up. Okay, so now that you lost weight, you transformed, your confidence went up. I know that other people are reaching out to you.
Yes.
Right? It doesn't that feel good? Other people are reaching out to you, hey, what have you done? What are you doing? I want to do the same as you. And now you're able to kind of teach them, take them under your wing and kind of pay it forward, right?
Yes.
So tell me, how does that feel? Not only you're successful, but now people are looking up to you.
It's the greatest feeling ever. Never in the world would I have thought that someone would be looking up to me because of my weight. Everyone would look at me like, oh my gosh, you're big. You're big. But they wouldn't actually tell me, but you could tell when somebody's looking at you and what they're thinking. And now they look at me and it's like, oh my God, you look amazing. What are you doing? The camp.
That's awesome.
Go to the camp.
That's so cool, because weight loss is great. But when everything else in your life just falls in place with it, because you feel better about yourself, because you have better self-confidence, that's just an amazing thing. So I heard a rumor that when you first came in, you couldn't even lift a tire. Yeah. And then, there's this big tire, and you were able to do it how many yards?
Oh my
Flip it how many yards?
I don't even know. I have no clue. It was a lot.
It was a lot. You just kept flipping the tire.
Just kept flipping it until I just was like, okay, I think I could get it there. And I flipped it all the way to the wall, and I was like, oh my gosh, they told me to roll it down. I was like, nope, I'm going to chase it down. So I put the wheel going down the hill, and I just chased it until it flipped over. So I'm proud of myself.
I'm proud of you. Strength, confidence, self-esteem, everything has gone up. But what I'm most confident, what I'm most impressed about you is that you had other things going on in your life. It's not like, okay, you were, just doing nothing. You can just go to the gym all day. You can cook all day, and you can, just, concentrate on you. You still had things to do. Tell me, what do you do as an occupation?
I am a special education preschool teacher, which is it's a full-time job. I work there during the day, but I take my work home every single day with me. I always have to write IEPs or write a report, so I do that full-time.
I respect you. You know, that's a very honorable job. You're doing great service for our country and for our children. Anybody that's helping the future generation, you know, succeed is just honorable. So I want to tell you, you know, I respect you as a teacher. I even respect you more as a special ed teacher, you know. So tell me, while you were doing that, were you also going to school?
Yes.
So you were going to school, you had a full-time job, and you were losing 60 pounds at the same time. Because, you know, here's what I get a lot of times. A lot of times people say, I'm too busy. 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 And that's what happens a lot of time. Because to me, everybody say they're busy. It's not that they're busy. It's not their priority. You know what I mean? You know, you're not in the camp 5 hours a day. You're not working out 5 hours a day. You know, you got other stuff to do. You have, you know, kids to take care of. You have your education to take care of. You have other responsibilities. So how did you manage to do that?
Well, the one thing I like about the camp is that you have multiple times that you can actually go in. So with me, I would go first thing in the morning. I would wake up early morning, go at 5 o'clock to the 5 o'clock class, and then go to work. And that's how I was able to do it. I just had to put a little bit of me first. And if once you put yourself first, you'll find time. You'll find time. And what they tell us at the camp all the time is what you put in it is what you get out of it. So that's what I have to do. I know I wanted to see changes in my body and my self-esteem. And in order for me to do that, I had to put in the work.
So you said you're putting yourself first. And here's what I see a lot of. You know, a lot of people who come to the camp initially, you know, they said, you know, these are people who kind of like used to take care of themselves, but life happened, right? Life happened. They had to get a job. Maybe they had to get 2 jobs. They got married. They have children now. They have other priorities. Or, you know, somebody in the family got sick, you know. So what they told themselves is this, you know what? I'm going to put myself on the back burner for a little bit, you know, and let me take care of this right now. And when I take care of this, I'm going to come back to me, you know. And unfortunately, you know, when you concentrate on this, next thing you know, you just totally forget about yourself. Yeah, you totally forget yourself, right? And next thing you know, one day you wake up, kind of like you did, you know, you're like, you didn't feel good about yourself. You weren't yourself anymore. And you say, you know what? I'm done with this. I don't want to feel like this anymore. I don't want to look like this anymore. This is not me. I deserve better, you know? And I always tell people this, you know, the most unselfish thing you can do is to take care of yourself.
Exactly.
You know, because a lot of people think that's a selfish thing to do. And people say, no, you know, you have to take care of your family, you have to take care of God. If you're not healthy, if you're not 100%, how can you take care of your family at 100%?
Exactly.
How can you provide for your family 100%? How can you be healthy for your children, you know, at 100%? If you're not healthy 100%, you're not feeling good about yourself, how can you serve God?
Exactly.
Right? So for people who are listening to this, man, I want everyone to understand that you have to make time for you. You have to make sure that your health, your well-being, you know, physically, mentally, emotionally, that's your number one priority, because you cannot give to other people if you're not feeling good. You know, and so you made yourself a priority. You manage your time. Mm-hmm. Tell me about your daily routine.
Oh boy.
Tell me what time you get up, what you do. You know, because obviously with everything that you got going on with school, with work, you know, and trying to lose all this weight, you know, how do you do it?
So my daily routine is I wake up around 4 o'clock in the morning. I go to the camp.
I love you already.
5. So I go to the camp at 5, and I take the 5 o'clock class. And right now I'm doing an elite challenge, which I have to do a lot of extra homework. So I stay until around 6:30 to do that homework. I go home, get changed, go to work, teach kids from 7:45 until 3:30, leave my job, and then I go back to continue my homework. So I'll go back to the camp and I do extra homework there. Okay.
And when is your studies come in play? When you were doing your college and everything?
I would do my homework after when I got home. Wow. I would do my homework when I would get home, and I was able to complete the program. I did most of my program while I was going to the camp. So I was able to do it, and when I had to go to school, what I love about the camp is the schedule. So if there was a time where I couldn't make it at 5 o'clock in the morning because I had to do something with work or with school, I could always come back in the afternoon and make up that time. Okay. So there was always time for me to actually go in and do the work.
So now, you know, that you kind of lost the weight and all that kind of stuff, and now you have a routine. Do you think if camp now didn't exist, what would you do?
That's a good question.
Because I want to make sure. I know that you went to one of our camps and lost weight, and I just don't want this to be like a camp commercial. You know what I mean? I want people to really learn the mindset, right? Be able to say, hey man, you know what I mean? Like, hey, somebody might live somewhere where they don't have camp. They don't have one of our camps nearby. What would be the mindset? What would you do? I know what I found, through research and through one of my mentors, Bill Phillips, is that the number one reason for weight loss success, you know what that is? Is support.
Yeah.
Because look, at the end of the day, we know how to lose weight. Eat better food, move more, repeat, right? Eat better food, move more, repeat, right? So exercise, better eating, repeat, right? That's all you have to do, right? But what we provide at the camp is the community. We have all the people starting on the same time, have the same challenge. Everybody's helping each other. The community is helping us. You guys are motivating each other and are making sure you guys are successful. So we wouldn't be here without all the, AFF. But what if somebody didn't have that? What if somebody didn't have that? What would be the mindset?
That they can still do it. You just have to learn the tools, because God, I'm so grateful for you guys, because you guys have taught me the tools where I can actually teach others. And my family, I have family back in Tennessee that my grandmother's so proud of me. She's extremely proud, and she tells all my family members back.
What part of Tennessee?
Memphis.
Okay.
So she tells them all the time, you know what, Takara's in this program. You guys need to see if they have one out there. And if not, this is how she eats. This is what you need to do. If she can lose the weight, anybody can. Yeah. And it's just the greatest feeling ever to not only have my family look up to me, but for my grandmother to be actually promoting myself. And you guys also, she's like, you have to find it. If there's a camp out there, do it. And if not, call Takara. She'll be able to tell you what she did to actually lose the weight. And that's like the greatest feeling ever, to know I could actually help someone.
So what's next for you? So now I'm looking at you, your tone, you kind of got arms and shoulder popping out, you look good. I mean, gosh, what a transformation. So what is next for you? I mean, what do you want to go from here? Because I know for me, while I was doing this, there's always the next goal, and there was always a next goal, and there's always a next goal. And even to this day, there's a next goal for me. When I was first getting into working out, is all about, okay, I want like a little bit of bigger arm, a little bit of this and that. And now it's like, hey man, I just want to become slim. I want to become a little more mobile. I want to be able to run around with my children. The goals change. So what do you take it from here? What is the next goal that you're trying to achieve in your fitness?
In my fitness, my goal is to get my stomach together. Okay. I keep telling everyone I'm going to start with a 1-pack. I was like, I want to start with the 1-pack and eventually get a 6-pack. We have, so one of my trainers like, there's a 6-pack in there. You just got to work for it. It's hiding. It's back there, but I'm going to get it. That's my goal.
Let me tell you a story, man. So about that, so when I was first getting into bodybuilding, I had the worst genetics ever. I literally had the worst genetics ever. Everybody laughed when I told them I'm going to be a bodybuilder, because I had really skinny arms. The only thing I had going for me is a little bit of legs and calves, because my mom had that. But I had real skinny arms, real skinny shoulders, and I had a pot belly. It's like skinny arms and a pot belly is like the worst thing you can have, right? So I started, when I told people I want to be a bodybuilder, everybody totally laughed. They're like, oh, you can't do it, and all that kind of stuff, and all that kind of things. And I just kept going, And one day, I just kept bulking up and trying to put on muscle, but I never had a 6-pack. So one day I'm like, okay, I'm going to do my first contest. And I'm going to start, dieting down and getting the same contest. And I dieted down. I was miserable. Everything was like looking better except my damn stomach. Everything was looking better. I still had this pouch here, and I dieted down. And finally, I started seeing some 4-pack and 6-pack. I never forget, I was working out one day, and a gentleman came in that was a bodybuilder. He goes, Sam, underneath all that fat, you had a decent body. But I can tell you from experience, the stomach, for me at least, is the last damn thing and from a stomach came in, I knew I had to suffer a little bit. It's like I couldn't just I couldn't just like, eat clean, and exercise. I literally had to suffer a little bit, to be able to get that in. So, when you are in great shape, so from 240 pounds, I bet you from 240 pounds to like 200 pounds, it was hard, but it wasn't that hard. Yeah. From 200 pounds, to 180 was harder.
Yes.
Right? And then from, 180 to 160 was a lot harder, right? So as you get closer and closer and closer to the ultimate, it's going to get harder and harder and harder. I want you to understand that. I want to leave you with this analogy. When a car accelerates, when the car stops and you jump on the gas, the car goes really, really fast, really quick, right? But as it gets closer to the top speed, every mile an hour takes a long time. It doesn't accelerate as fast, right? So as you get closer to your goal, as to your ultimate body, every little bit is going to take time. And I want you to make sure you understand that and persevere and be able to do that. So far you've done this. I want to ask you a serious question though. So you lost weight many times, you gain it back. You lost weight many times, gain it back. And that's really the hardest thing for me to understand, because why would somebody get it all back? Because I know I did it once. Actually, I did it twice. And I was depressed. There's nothing like looking good for a little bit, and then next thing you know, looking like shit really like a couple of weeks later. And I did it after a couple of contests I did. And people warned me, Sam, after the contest, don't go and junk out. Don't go and junk out, And I remember, oh man, I'm going to eat a little bit of this, a little bit of this, turn out a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this. Next thing you know, I looked on stage, I looked stage ready. And then 2 weeks later, I'm like, did you ever compete? And I looked like a puffer fish, How are you now incorporating this in your lifestyle so that this never happens again?
It's my mindset. I have a completely different mindset now. Before I was like, oh, I could have this. Doesn't matter. I didn't care about how I looked. I just didn't care. And now I know the tools. I'm like, okay, this isn't good for me. I worked too hard to go back. I worked entirely too hard to go back. So I feel like now that I have the tools, I know what to do to keep it up.
Got it.
I know the tools, and I have my family who supports me. My grandmother, when she cooks, she makes my separate meals. So she'll cook for the family, then she's like, okay, this is Takara's.
So your family totally supports you on this?
Definitely.
Okay. Did you have anyone through your journey that didn't support you?
I have people who have said you need to slow down, because I think they're so used to seeing me huge that this is very scary to them. My grandmother has a neighbor who's older, and she just keep coming to her, I'm worried. And it's just because she's never seen me so small. And my grandma's like, she eats every 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it's not like you're starving, right?
She said this girl eats every single day, all day long. She is fine. She is fine. So my family is supportive. I have family members like, you know what, Takara, you are doing awesome. I'm going to do it. I'm going to sign up. And that's just that's crazy to me, because I've always been the big cousin, and now they're looking up to me. It's like, I want to do it. I'm like, come on, come join me. If I could do it, anybody can. There's no excuse.
Man, you're true inspiration. You're like the whole everybody, and those old school older people, yes. Man. You lose a couple of pounds. Oh my God, Mija, are you sick? You need to eat. You need to eat. Exactly. You need to eat, because they kind of want to see your face go like this, your face go like this. It's like, oh my God, something's going on, right?
Yeah. And my aunt even said that she misses my big cheeks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're never going to see them again if I have anything to do with it. I'm happy now.
So tell me about this picture.
Oh my gosh, those are a few of my nieces and nephews. I have 9 or 10 now, I think. I think it's 10, because I just had a new nephew born a couple of weeks ago. But those are the 3 that I'm always with.
So do you have any children of your own?
I don't have any children of my own.
Okay, so these are your children.
Those
looks
yes,
like it.
Yes, right. Those are my kids, and the kids at my job. Those are my babies. I'll do anything for them.
Man, remind me, man. I want to have you come and play with my kids. You look like you're having so much fun here.
The fun auntie.
Yeah, you can have fun with them and give them back.
Yes, exactly.
And this is when you started?
That's when I started.
Oh my God, not too long ago.
No, it hasn't been a year yet.
June 4th, 2018. Oh my goodness. Look at that midsection. Look at the difference.
It's a big difference.
And tell me about this picture.
My graduation this December, I graduated my master's in special education.
Master's in special education,
sir.
girl. Gosh, you got it all. You got the body, you got the health, you got the self-esteem. You know, you got everything. You got the education. You know, you're a true one percenter. You know, a definition of one percenter is someone who is balanced in all areas of life, which is faith, family, fitness, finance, and fun. And you look like you're having a blast throughout this whole journey.
Yes.
Tell me about this.
Oh my gosh! I believe me and my friends had just got done doing one of the. It was a hard workout, and we just like to take pictures. Like we did it. We did this, and I love it.
So taking pictures, let's talk about that. You know what I mean? Because I know, like when I talk to a lot of the people who, you know, were overweight and they were depressed and they weren't feeling good about themselves. Usually, they don't go out. They don't want to go shopping. They try to avoid parties and barbecues and get-togethers and all that kind of stuff. But then when they started looking good, losing weight, next thing you know, man, they're like selfie queens and selfie kings. You know what I mean? Is that you now? Is that you now? See?
Yes.
Awesome.
It is.
So the confidence is there now. You're like, hey man, I look,
Yeah.
I'm proud of what I've accomplished, you know, and I want to be able to inspire other people.
Exactly.
And were you hiding before? Like trying,
Yes.
yeah.
I never took. I'm not even into my high school graduation. The album. I didn't take the pictures. I won't take it.
What?
I'm not in there. The yearbook. I'm not in there. I never took pictures. I didn't like to take pictures because I didn't like to look at myself. I would look in the mirror when I absolutely had to. That's it. But other than that, I didn't want to look at myself.
Wow.
And now you turn around, I'm like, jeez.
I love that, man. I love that. I think that's amazing. And who's this?
That is my grandmother, my biggest supporter.
Okay. So you said your family's from Tennessee,
Yes.
but your grandmother is here.
Yes.
Okay. So, you know, she's young.
Yeah, she would be 78 in September.
And she looks amazing.
Yeah.
OMG. So she's your biggest support. She helps you with your meals.
Yes.
Man, I'm jealous.
She helps me, especially during school because I didn't have time to cook. And I would just tell her, okay, this is what we're using. We're using this seasoning, and I can have this and this ounce, and she'll make it for me. So I had the best support ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now for people who are always self-doubting themselves, people who always, you know, try something, they're in your shoes, they starve themselves, gain it back, or they just don't think it's possible. You know, you're here, you prove that it's possible. What are some tips that you can give them? Give me 3 top tips that you do, you know, that can really for them to implement and change their life and start losing weight and feeling better about themselves.
From when you have to realize that you can do it. That was the number one tip, is that if you doubt yourself,
you have to believe it.
You have to believe it. The moment that you doubt yourself, that's when you're going to start giving up. So you have to wake up every morning.
When did you say I can do this?
The moment I had this, I think it was a 5-day trial, and when I walked in the door and I was able to complete one class. And I remember we had to do the Bosu ball, and I couldn't stand on there, but Gonzalo came and he helped me. My trainer came and helped me. And I was like, okay, I think I could do this. I'm still alive. I'm able to do I'm sweating a lot, but I'm alive, and I think I could keep doing it. And I finished that week, and then we started the challenge a couple of weeks later, and they did my initial weigh-in. That first week, I lost 12 pounds. And when I hit that 12 pounds that first week, I was like, oh, that's it. I can do this. So that's when the confidence that's when it hit me. It's like, okay, Takara, you can do this.
Yes. You know, when you go from a traditional, you know, American diet, you know, to eating clean and exercising, your body the first week will just be like, wow, you know, and that initial weight loss it like catapults. Oh, I can do it. Imagine if I just keep repeating it. So, okay, you know, number 1, believe that you can do it. Number 2,
put in the work.
Put in the work.
Go in, take at least an hour a day just for yourself to do the work.
You know, I just saw a meme the other day that said 1 hour a day is only 4% of your time. Right? And a lot of people say, I don't have time, but yet, you know, they watch 2 hours of TV.
Exactly.
You know, or yet, you know, they're scrolling through Instagram, you know, for a couple hours a day. You know, if you really, you know, look at everything that you do, you can make time. You know what I mean? If the president of the United States makes time, for that, if you can make time with all your busy schedule, anybody can make time. If it's a priority, you make it happen. Okay, what's the third one?
The third one, which is a big one for me, is stay off the scale.
So,
Stay off the scale.
oh God, that is so good.
Stay off that scale.
That is so good because that can play mind tricks on
Yes,
you.
it does.
You know what I mean? A lot of people get mind tricks on it. They get on it every single day, and a couple of times a day, three times a day, and they think that that's going to make a big difference. They're not. Weight loss. Here's what I tell people. Is this: if you went right now and ate a Big Mac, 2 Big Macs, a large fries, and a shake, tomorrow you're not going to get up obese. But if you do that every day for the next few months, you will see the difference. Now with exercise, the same thing. You're going to exercise, you're going to eat better. You're not going to see miracles happen in a day or 2 days or a few weeks. But if you keep consistently doing it, it's going to happen. The problem is most people don't want consistency. Everybody wants immediate gratification, and the key is always going to be consistent effort, and I remember, when I didn't know anything about it, some days, some weeks I don't lose anything, and the next week I lose 5, so it's that compounded effect that people do that's going to add up. If you ate, McDonald's today and gain 40 pounds tomorrow, guess what? Nobody would eat McDonald's.
Exactly.
Right? And if you were able to, exercise today and lose 40 pounds, guess what? There won't be no obesity in the world. So is the effort over time that's going to add up to big results or disaster. Man, what an interview. I'm so proud of you losing 60 pounds, losing a bunch of body fat while, being a special ed teacher, while getting your master's in education. And I can tell you, I cannot wait to see what's next for you, Thank you guys for tuning in to the 1% podcast. Again, you can find us on YouTube, on iTunes, and all the social media channels. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time.